Hi, I'm Shai Agassi. I'm the founder and CEO of Better Place, a company that will solve the world's addiction to oil, and in the process will clean up our cities, our countries, from all the emissions that come as a result of a billion tailpipes on our roads. I didn't start as a green warrior, as everybody wants to call it. I had a career, had a business life, and did pretty good for myself at a very young age, much like you. And wanted to go do things for myself. And one day I got asked a question. What are you going to do to make the world a better place by 2020? And it reset my life. It basically put me in a position where I had to think about what's important, whether it's a job or a career or money, patting of egos on your back or branding and awards. And none of that matters when you realize that 15, 20 years from now, there's nothing to look out for if we don't solve a problem. And the magnitude of the problem that the previous generations, and unfortunately my own generation, have left to you is of immense proportion. We don't even understand how bad it is, and we tend to ignore it until it's going to hit us with the force that we won't know how to respond to. We tend to hide behind numbers and percentages and years, and some fellow politicians and business people tend to say it's not as bad as we think. So here's the bad news for today. It's actually worse than most of us care to admit. We're at 380 particles per million, which doesn't mean anything at all because we can't see any of those particles around us. We're moving at a speed that is just unbelievable. We're adding 2 to 3 particles per million per year over the next 50 years. It's as if we were falling off the Empire State Building and are about to hit the ground. We don't know even what the ground is, but some people argue that when we hit the ground, it's not going to hurt as much as we think. And I can tell you, when we hit the ground, that's it. We hit the ground. There's no coming back. Now, what I believe in is in absolute solutions. We absolutely need to get to zero. We need to get to zero emission from cars, zero emission from cement, zero emission from air conditioning and heat. We have to be absolute, because if we're not absolute at this point in the game, there is no more us when you get to my age. It's that simple. And so, what do you need to do? You need to be the voice that we have not heard. You need to be the reason that we've missed. You need to bring in the values that we care to ignore. You need to make us think again, because we lost that process somewhere over the years of excess and growth and lack of thought and science and lack of discipline and engineering. We built a planet that within 100 years became unsustainable. And what you need to do is you need to tell us we won't accept solutions that are partial. We won't accept solutions that perpetuate this model. And when you tell us what the future is like, everybody around us will listen. If you tell car companies you won't buy a car if it has a tailpipe, no more tailpipes will get added on the road, because we know that you're the future. If you tell us that you just won't buy an incandescent light bulb because it's stupid, because it sends more heat than light, we won't make any incandescent light bulbs. If you tell us that you won't live in a house where the cement created more CO2 than the car is going to emit over the life of the car in the parking lot, we won't build that house anymore. If you force photovoltaics on every roof, if you force us to make the right choices, we won't have a choice. That's the power you have. Use it wisely, because we depend on you. Thank you.